So let's grab a drinking horn. I'm done with the work today and I'm drinking a Borg mead. It's a Danish mead. Met äppelpåse, that means with apple and with bog myrtle. Back then, people tend to make beer with this porse or with bog myrtle. And oh yeah, I love that because it's not too sweet. And I rarely drink alcohol. And when I do, I try not to drink the industrial made stuff. So today I raise my horn to all the craftsmen out there. Skål! And that's great. Yeah, why to the craftsmen and the craftswomen, of course, too. Because I am thinking recently a lot about consuming, about how we act together, how we spend our money, how we earn our money in our modern societies. At least from my Western Europe point of view. And I have to say, there are a lot of things I don't like anymore. When I say we and I criticize the system, I am fully aware that I am a part of that and that I took my advantage of it long enough. Today I made this video about jewelry. I just encourage you people, build your own stuff, no matter what. Anyone has a talent for something. Many folks out there are knitting or sewing their own clothes, are into woodwork, or even cooking your own stuff from fresh vegetables every day. Just don't go to a fucking fast food restaurant or order your stuff at Amazon or Temu or all these kind of shops which are terrible in my opinion. It's mostly cheap scrap garbage which looks cool on a picture, but when it arrives, in most cases it's not cool anymore. And the stuff has to be made somewhere. And guess what? These prices are cheap because the people who are making it work like slaves. And there are just few people who get rich of this. So, making your own goods, making your own stuff, cooking your own food will crash that consumption cycle, in my opinion. I mean, I'm really blessed though. I have the opportunity to live on a small farm. And I have my own workshop, but most time of my life I hadn't. And I know much people don't have that opportunity. But everyone can do his own things in his even the smallest apartment. And if you just take a piece of paper and a pencil, but I guess we humans, we need to express ourselves. And we are meant to build things. And we are meant to express our ideas, to use symbols which give meaning to our life. Sometimes I put the things I made in the status, and then of course friends, family, and co-workers see it. And I have that co-worker, and he's always like, "Oh man, I don't have the time for all that. Why do you have so much time?" And guess what? My day is also just 24 hours, and I have a full-time job. I am a father, I have a teenage daughter, my wife, our farm, some animals. Um, but I have enough time for everything. I'm still scrolling too much in this cursed device, but I had times in my life where I was stuck to television or the screen, watching, binge watch TV series or movies, or browsing internet boards, social media. I was on Instagram back then, and that ate so much time. And yeah, I know I am on YouTube, and it also needs his time, but I spend it in another way as back then, because I like the process. And oh, that's windy today. I like the process, and I like to show my process. And many things I learned from internet guys making videos, and I watch that, and I want to make it on my own. And then yeah, it's all about trial and error. And yeah, I like to give something back, in a sense. And that is a way how I can express myself. And even if YouTube is shut down one day, or I have to pay for it, I have all these beautiful things I made, and they have a worth within. They have a worth for me, and I don't want to impress people with it. I want to impress my yesterday's me. We often compare to others, and I think that is wrong. And I think that is why so many people are depressed and down, and have no goals, because it's always like, well, the others are so much better than I am, and they have so much more beautiful life than I. But guess what? Now it's social media. We all know that it's just facade. You just see the good times. You don't see the bad times. No one is posting, well, I had an argument with my wife yesterday. Nobody posts about his flaws and his bummers. So it's a hyper realistic world, all this social media crap. And so, yeah, I guess it's just important to make things that last. Doesn't care which they are made of, stone or cloth or leather or horn, antler, steel, silver, bronze. A tiny bit of peace when you sit somewhere in a bad situation you can grab, and it reminds you on your own strength. It reminds you on you can do something, you were able to build something. And that is important nowadays, to rely on its own strength, his own abilities, and his own creativity. Back then I lived in this small apartment, didn't have a garden or backyard at all, and I was really deep into depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a long story, but I could hardly get my ass up. But I realized when I did that, and I found a beautiful spot, let's say in a forest or at a lake or something, I felt so much better, so down to earth, grounded, and all the troubles in my head weren't important anymore. But that feeling did not last, and there was that next terrible shift, or the next disaster in my life, and I was in that hole back again. I needed a lot of therapy, a lot of work, believe me. And I'm not talking of that whole improve yourself nonsense. We do not need to improve ourselves. We are good as we are. Everybody is as good as he is, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, we need to learn to deal with our emotions and feelings, but we are not worthless just because we don't have certain abilities. Every man Every human, every human is worth on its own. And I mean, yeah, there are lots of assholes around in politics, in churches, in, I don't know, society. But hand on the heart. Oh, that was hand on the microphone. But hand on the heart. How often were we assholes to our fellow people? I was arrogant most time of my life, thinking I know how everything is working. And I learned it the hard way that I was wrong. And that hurts more than anything else, I can tell you. So yeah, there are all these what we call bad people. But I guess we care too much about them. And we pay too much attention on what they are doing. And we pay not enough attention on our own lives, what we are doing. How we treat our neighbors, how we treat our co-workers, how we treat the people we do not rely on. So it's not a big thing to be polite to your boss, but being polite on the woman who cleans your toilets at work. That is the important thing. Just wanted to talk about jewelry. Man. Yeah, anyway, I don't want to bore you. Just a few thoughts on Saturday afternoon. So yeah, I'm not in charge to give anyone advices. Often enough, my daughter gives advices to me. But when I learn something, it's this: do as many things you can on your own as possible, and don't be a dick. And care about the critters which count on you. Cheers.